Hey everybody, what's going on? I'm back, and I've been doing a lot of thinking lately as far as what sort of content that I want to sort of bring to my channel. I've gotten a lot of requests. It's usually about my exhaust. So I've had other exhausts on this bike. I had the RC Components 3-inch slip-ons. I think I mentioned that. I also have another video on there on my channel, and it compares those slip-ons to this exhaust. You know, so in case you're in the same position as me and you're really picky about the sound of your vehicles, because if anybody knows anything about me, I'm really picky about my exhaust. And I don't just settle when I have an exhaust on there. If I don't like it, I'm gonna change it. And I did just that. And as far as the RC Components is concerned, it's not that I didn't like the sound, it was that it was just too loud. You know, on trips longer than, I don't know, a half an hour, it would just get really annoying. Oddly enough, it was actually louder inside my helmet. Yeah, try and figure that out. So I don't know what was going on with that, but that's why I changed it. It wasn't too hard. I've had people ask me on the forums, you know, how hard is an install for a 2-in-1 exhaust, or really any full exhaust. It's not too bad. It actually, I think the way I described it was, it's a when I get home from work type of project. So you get off of work, you come home, you spend a couple hours, and you just put it on. The only weird thing was the torque specs. You know, more and more as time goes on, I try to, you know, do things the right way, and that means torquing to spec. The head bolts, I believe, were not horribly tight. They were only like 20 foot-pounds of torque, so not horribly. The fuck's going on here? Yeah, so none of the bolts were really more than 20 foot-pounds of torque, and that seemed really strange to me, and at the same time it made a lot of sense. But yeah, ease of installation, I would give it maybe a 6 on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the hardest. Just tedious. So yeah, so I'm getting out of work about 5:30, so this is it's gonna be a clusterfuck all the way home, and I got stuff to do that I want to be there for. It's actually my father-in-law's birthday, so we're gonna go over there and have a little family gathering. Should be fun, usually is. Anyway, back to installation of stuff. So the other thing I get asked a lot of questions about is my headlight, and because Victory doesn't really exist anymore, it's gonna be a lot of custom stuff as far as fitment's concerned, and there's gonna be a lot of things that nobody really knows. So I decided to take the plunge and get a headlight, try it out, because I wanted something that looked a little better than the stock headlight. And I ended up going with a Wasamic LED headlight. I like it. Other people apparently like it because I get asked about it all the time. Again, installation for that, you know, 10 minutes. I also have a video on that. I'll post a link. It's super easy, and it only costs $50, which is, in my experience, has been the cost of a nice pair of headlights for your car. You know, some Silver Stars by Sylvania or something. I figure $50 is worth a shot. Worst case scenario is it doesn't fit, or I don't like it and I return it. But I like it, and it fit, so I'm keeping it. But yeah, those are the two major things that I've done so far, and they're not even that major. But they're two things that make a pretty significant difference as far as look and sound are concerned. Oh, the other thing was I did an S&S intake. Supposedly that's required by Victory, not necessarily the S&S, but an intake. They want their performance intake on there, and that makes sense. You know, if you do one, you got to do the other. It's just, you should do that on any vehicle. But that was so far the hardest thing, because I had to actually remove the tank, which isn't as scary as it sounds. If I remember correctly, it's 4 bolts, 5 if you count the bolt for the seat. And the seat pops up, there's four bolts right at the front, right near your crotch, and you lift up, you loosen the quick disconnects for the fuel line and the electric for the fuel pump, and then it just slides right off these two little rubber knobs on the front. It's pretty easy. It's a little scary, but the scariest part is sort of jacking up the bike, because you have to take off 2 of the frame members to actually take the stock intake out. So if you don't have it jacked in the middle, the bike could literally fold in half. But as long as you support it in the middle, you're okay. Getting the stock intake off, because there's no actual bracket or anything, is just sort of press fit on there. So as you can imagine, it being an intake, you don't want to get any unfiltered air going in. It's going to be on pretty tight. That was a challenge, and your forearms will be sore the next day. But the result is just like when you put one on your car. It gets pretty loud. I like it. And it's only loud when it needs to be, if that makes sense. So the exhaust as well is not mind-shatteringly loud. It's just the right amount of loud. Apparently it's pretty loud when you're not on the bike, but while you're riding, it's actually what's the word? I can stand it. It's tolerable. There you go. It doesn't give you a headache. It's not shaking your brain. So I like it. I'm gonna keep it. well, that's about it. That's it for my ride home update, I guess. I still got some stuff to figure out, so I'll keep you posted. Till then, bye.